I did it again. I once again went to the wrong scene first. Hello everyone. It's time for another stream. Twitch decided that last one didn't count or something. I don't know what's going on. So I need to do one more stream to get my affiliate stuff and then we'll finally be done. So hopefully the next time you'll see me will be on Sunday and hopefully Twitch won't screw me over again. This time I didn't want to go the full movie length. Probably just going to be like an hour stream here. So I decided to do something I've been wanting to do for a while anyways, which is just an educational short stream. With no movie, just a bunch of the shorts that I play at the end of the movies. Seems like a fun time to me. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got a couple lined up, and it should be a fun time. First up, something that's gonna be relevant in just a near little while. An educational short about how to carve a turkey. It's called Carving Magic. Let's watch, shall we? No, hello, Gray Cat. Hi, hello, Gray. Hi, Gray. Welcome, Raiders. We just started, so nice to see ya. Hope you had a good stream. We're watching educational shorts. This one's about how to carve a turkey.
We would have had you over sooner, but Joe's been so busy at the studio.
And all the audio's in the left channel for some reason.
Come home and fall into bed.
Yeah, I'm probably making so much money he needs a truck to get it to the bank. By the way, where did he disappear to?
He's in the kitchen. He'll be right in. Al.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everyone.
Gloria, Mary, it's beautiful. The table, I mean. What is this? An anniversary or something? Thank you. No
Playing
anniversary.
TCG Simulator? Yeah.
But it is a special occasion. You
I
see,
saw that. I was actually lurking as I got set up for this.
They'll find out for themselves.
That's a big turkey.
Everybody ready? No. Wait a minute. Some kind of a gag. Now, it's not an anniversary, but it is a special occasion. Now, we have to find out for ourselves. I got it. You're going to try carving a turkey again. Oh, now hold everything, will you, Joe? Now, don't start carving that beautiful turkey yet, please. I got to go get my camera. You know, I always swore if we had pictures of you the last time you tried carving a turkey, we'd have made a mint selling them for a TV comedy. Oh, now, Joe, please don't get hurt. No, I wouldn't hurt you for the world, you know that.
This guy's a jerk. What an asshole.
Watching you carve is... Al, I just decided to give you a special treat. Now, I was going to let you watch from the other end of the table. But for you, seeing as how you're my very special friend, and because you get such a kick out of watching me carve, I'm going to give you a special performance. Now, would you step right over here, please?
Die.
I want you to watch very close.
This is where I've set my anvil trap.
Mary?
Okay. Normal so far. Okay, alright. There's the leg. Now he's cut that again. When's it get funny? What? Don't stop looking at me.
Would you mind going to your place, Al? Or are you going to stand there staring all night? But where did you learn to carve like that? You've been taking lessons or something? From Martha Logan. Martha Logan? You mean the home economist for Swift? No wonder. She's an authority on meat. But how did you get to
Who?
meet her?
We're making a TV film for them over at the studio. And the minute I saw what it was all about, I made up my mind to really learn all about carving. And during camera rehearsals, I got a chance to talk to her. Excuse me, Miss Logan. Say, tell me, you think a guy like me could learn how to carve anything like you do?
Of course. And why not? It's not magic, you know.
Well, it sure looks like it the way you do it.
Carving magic.
And to learn how to do it with all these different meats.
It's not nearly as complicated as you might think. Really, all you have to learn is a few different methods. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Spread out on the table here are more than 20 different cuts of meat, if you include the turkey and chicken.
That's
Now
a
you'll
lot of
notice
meat.
that we have them grouped. If you learn to carve any one piece in each group, you can handle everything else in that group. You watch during rehearsals and you'll see what I mean. For instance, leg of lamb, whole ham, and the picnic shoulder are carved exactly alike. You'll see how most of these are carved during camera rehearsals and when we photograph them. The only real difference between carving a whole ham and carving either the butt or shank end cuts is that these are placed with the cut surface down. The actual cutting is the same. This group includes all steaks, and the only thing to remember about steaks is that when all bone is removed, care should be taken to cut each muscle into equal pieces so everyone will get a serving from each section, where they vary in tenderness.
What?
And for these boneless cuts of meat, just make sure that all carving is done at right angles to the meat grain. That way, all servings are more tender and tasty. Any pot roast cut is the same once the bones are removed. The only thing to remember is that all cutting should be across the grain or fibers of the meat.
Simply cut it.
Loin of pork and lamb ribs, sometimes called a rack of lamb, are carved exactly the same by cutting between the ribs.
Yeah, that's
The
pretty
standing
obvious.
Rib roast is done differently, but easily. If you
Well,
turn
then
it
it's not part of
on
the same
cut
group
surface
then.
with the rib bones to the left, then carve horizontally. And of course, the best possible example of this
Young
idea of
turkey.
learning to carve by neat groups is turkey and chicken. All poultry for that matter. You see how it works?
I don't know. All this
Well, it
raw
sure
meat, I'm
sounds
just
easy
like,
the way you talk.
that's sure is raw meat.
Turkey.
They give you trouble?
Trouble. I'll never forget the one I tried to carve for our first Thanksgiving.
Oh,
dinner.
thank God. We actually get to see him
Kid
cut
could've
it,
done
please.
better pulling it apart with his hands.
Well, you just watch what I do during rehearsals and when we
Oh, no, we
get
don't get to
there.
see it. Damn it.
You'll learn.
I want to see him carve that turkey.
Well, I hope so. One of the first shots they made was on carving a leg of lamb. Do you know that carving a leg of lamb is exactly the same as carving a whole ham? The first step is to cut off 3 or 4 slices from the side opposite the cushion.
Jesus Christ, that's a huge, just chunk of meat on a
This
bone.
can be located by the H-bone, the flat bone in the butt end which slants towards this meaty section. Now, cutting off these slices makes a flat surface for the roast to stand on while you're carving. Now, with the roast standing upright, you make sure the shank is to your right, if you're right-handed. A left-handed carver would put it the other way. Then you make a series of perpendicular cuts right down to the bone, using firm strokes with a sharp knife.
Firm
And when you've got as
strokes.
many slices as you want,
I want to make sure everyone's doing firm strokes around here.
cut along the leg bone at the bottom of your slices. You end up with a series of horseshoe-shaped slices just as neat and pretty as you could want. And this method of carving is the same for ham and lamb, for roast fresh ham, and roast leg of veal. Now, once you've learned to carve one, you've learned how to carve everything in the group. I guess we all learned something making that movie because Martha Logan even had to show the director how the different cuts went so he could figure his camera angle. In
You gotta make sure you have
carving a
proper
ham
cut
breast,
technique when stroking your meat.
place the half ham upright with the cut surface down. Make sure the bone end and the wedge-shaped bone is on your left. Then slice parallel to the platter, to the round bone.
It's a pretty nice knife they have, at least. It goes through pretty easily.
And then make a vertical cut close to the round bone to free the slices. Well, really, it's the same as you do when you carve a whole ham, except that you're slicing horizontally instead of vertically. The shaved piece is practically the same, except that it's easier to cut the meaty cushion free from the bone first. Then slice it into as many servings as you want.
Yeah, simple as. Luffy knows how to eat that shit. He would just eat it right on the bone.
A roast loin of pork in this case. A carving is simply a matter of cutting between the ribs and serving the chop.
Yeah, I don't think we need to see a demonstration on this one. I think this one's pretty obvious.
You leave the backbone in place for roasting, then remove it before putting the roast on the platter. Lamb ribs are roasted and carved the same way, and a standing rib roast of beef also is the same, except you make your cuts horizontally instead of vertically.
You know, the one thing I'm noticing looking at all this meat,
How to carve a porterhouse.
where's the seasoning?
You know, I think this part about steaks is just about the most interesting part of it all. You know,
I see a Maillard reaction, but I don't see any seasoning.
Part of carving. I always thought you just cut it.
I know. That's what most people think. Here. But if you remember what I just showed you, always cut the bone out first with a short-pointed knife. Then, holding the knife at an angle, cut the tenderloin. That's the smaller piece. Into as many slices as there are people to be served.
I suppose so, yeah.
Then, cut the sirloin strip and the flank piece into the same number of slices. That way, all your servings will be the same. Everyone will be served equal amounts of each part of the steak.
That's insane to
If you
me.
use this same principle for all steaks, you'll find that people will really enjoy having steak at your house.
Boy, is my wife going to be happy when she finds out I'm learning how to carve. What's next, Miss Logan?
Bone-in pot roast. We're going
Bone-in
to
pot
demonstrate how
roast.
to carve a blade bone pot roast first.
With a blade bone roast, the first step is to remove the bone. Both the blade bone and the small piece of backbone.
Blade bone
The
fucking
next
sucks,
step
dude.
is to separate the various muscles, or sections of meat, where they divide naturally.
It's a wonky
When the
bone
muscles
to
separate
work
it,
with when
it's
cooking.
easy to see which way the grain runs in each section.
Granted, I don't do this kind of thing. I usually put it in a crock pot.
Turning this section, if
Meat
necessary,
falls right off
to
of
make
it.
Easy to get nice, even cross-grain slices.
Toss that bone in stew? Yeah.
But since the part along the backbone is the most tender, always make sure everyone gets an equal portion of it.
Oh my god, slice that thing into the tiniest little
Carving
pieces so
round
everyone
bone
gets a little
pot
bit.
roast is about the same, except that you don't have to remove the one round bone out in the kitchen before you serve it.
So, that's how it is, Al, my boy. You're now looking at an expert carver. You mean you can carve all those different meats the way you carved that turkey tonight?
Can you carve?
Just about.
Can you carve me a wooden stick?
Would it be too much trouble? I mean, would you teach me how? I sure will. But right now, I can even do better. Well, how do you mean? Well, I figured you'd want to learn, and since Mary doesn't keep our refrigerator stocked with all those steaks and roasts for you to practice on, I borrowed a print of the movie we made. And it shows everything I've been talking about. Like to see it? Hey, swell. Good, you finish your coffee and I'll get the projector.
So instead of getting to practice, he's just going to watch someone else do it.
Now, everybody ready? Kill the light, please, Mary. Well, here we go.
Wait, we're watching a short within our short. We're watching Carving Magic, and that's the art of carving.
For centuries, the carving of meat has been a
These are the
fine art
lamest humans alive.
practiced
True!
largely by highly trained chefs and a few husbands who
This
have
really is a
enough
Shorstravaganza. We're
interest
watching a short
to
within a
learn
short.
the skills. But now, Martha Logan, eminent home economist, has devised a simple method of grouping the most
No, we're not
common
talking about the shelf. We're talking the chef. We're talking about the people watching the movie here.
to learn to carve.
This method of grouping the various meat cuts is really quite simple. All that is required is an understanding of the similarity between different cuts of meats. For instance, people seldom think of ham and leg of lamb as being anything alike. Yet, methods for carving them are identical. Here, I'll show you. The first thing you do is to locate the wedge-shaped bone called
We saw
the
this
H-bone.
already.
Here
They
it
told us
is
about this
on the
already.
leg of lamb, pointing toward the section from which the big horseshoe-shaped slices are cut. And here is the H-bone on the ham. With the shank bone to the right of the carver, first step in carving is to remove several slices from the side opposite the meaty section. This
Okay.
makes a flat surface for the roast to
Any,
rest on
everyone
while
taking
carving.
notes? Learning so much about meat? That's what we're here for. We're here to learn.
Firm, start slicing at the shank end, cutting
We're getting all
down
ready for
the bone
Thanksgiving.
with firm strokes. Slices should be at least a 1/4 inch thick. When the desired number of slices has been cut, hold the knife parallel to the cutting board and cut along the leg bone to free the slices.
Thinking this is an orange honey ginger glaze. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh man, imagine this having any glaze at all, like a honey, just like a fucking nice honey ham. Fucking love that orange glaze. That'd be nice. Just like anything. Anything at all.
And exactly the same method is used.
This
for
technique is something I didn't know. I don't think we use this anymore. I don't think we do this kind of thing anymore. That's part why.
Ribs to the left of the carver. The fork is in
Hey,
between the first
how many
and
people
second
even
ribs
like
to hold the roast firmly. 1/4 inch slices are made
get
from the
a
right
ham
side
on
of
the
the
bone anymore these days?
crust to the
Anyways,
ribs. Remember to let a roast
quite
stand
frequently we
overnight
usually
to let it firm up.
a lot of us do ham off the bone. On the meat bone. We love the meat bone.
As each slice is completed, use the tip of the knife to cut along the rib bone and free the slice.
Rib bone connected to the
As cutting gets further into the roast,
no bone.
the fork should be removed from between the upper ribs and reinserted.
Does he
further
cut
down.
the ham like this?
In carving steaks, there is one point of paramount importance. After removing the bone,
The idea of having a steak so large you need to carve it up for your guests is insane to
so
me.
that each serving will be equal. For instance, here is a
Something like
sirloin
this.
steak.
Well, there you go.
With the bone removed, hold the knife blade at an angle.
Granted, I don't eat
slice
beef,
the
so
steak
maybe
into
this is like
equal
normal,
portions, about 3/4
but
inch
it
thick,
is very
and
insane to
season
me.
as much of the tenderloin as possible with each serving. As long as you remember this.
Oh, there goes the
whether
music.
serving porterhouse, sirloin, ham steak, or even round steak.
Somewhere between a steak and a
everyone
roast.
in the
Yeah,
house
it's
will
like,
be a
it's
happy camper.
huge. It takes up a whole fucking serving plate.
I'll show you some of the fine points for the carving job Father loves best. Turkey. The turkey should be placed so that the breast will be to the carver's left. With the tip of the
Turkey
knife,
to the left of
cut
me.
the strip of skin holding
Chicken to the
leg
right.
in place.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Now, press the drumstick out
Working by the
with
OST,
fork or
probably
your
from
left
some
hand.
stock music library.
Place the knife between the thigh and the body and slash through the skin to the joint. Keep that outward pressure constant while you're making this cut, and the entire leg will separate from the body.
Yeah, a roast in the chops. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
The upper thigh joint will come out so that you can cut it free with your knife. That was easy, wasn't it? So is
Sure.
this next cut, separating the thigh from the drumstick. You make your first cut in the angle between the two.
Man, why didn't we get to see the guy fuck up the carving first? I want to go back and see the guy fuck up the carving that everyone was laughing about. If it's so funny, why don't I get to see it?
And press it away from the body. With your knife, make a long cut just above the wing joint. cutting
With
it
your
all
knife?
the way to the bone.
What else am I supposed to be
When that
cutting with,
cut is
lady?
made, the breast is ready for carving. Start about halfway up the breast and slice straight down toward that.
That is
front
very
opening
fair. Yeah,
joint.
turkey's a lot of food.
When your knife reaches the cut, the slices will fall free. Each succeeding slice of white meat is started higher on the breast until the
We,
crest of the bone is reached.
We've started doing this thing where we get
You'll
like
find
turkey
that with a little
thighs
practice, you'll acquire every
and
bit of the expert.
we like pressure cook them,
Carving
and it's really nice. We have like a teriyaki sauce we put on there. It's really cool. I like it a lot.
Well,
They're not taking care of their knives properly.
Boy, she sure makes it look easy.
now wait a minute.
No, wait a
Don't
minute.
get the idea that this is one of those pictures just to make things look easy. Now, carving, when you get to know the different groupings, like ham and lamb, chicken and turkey, and all those different loin roasts, steaks, and pot roasts. Why, it becomes so easy, you wonder why you didn't think of it yourself.
Okay, I'll try it. You, Joe, and Mary are hereby invited to our house Saturday night for dinner. Honey, what kind of roast do you want to cook?
Are you going to do the carving?
What else?
Gloria, you better play it safe and make a bologna.
Okay,
Wah, wah,
okay.
wah.
After the way I've ribbed Joe, I guess I had that coming. So to show you that my heart's in the right place, we will have standing rib roast. Okay?
It really doesn't make any difference. Now, whatever kind of roast you get, you'll find it easy to learn how to carve it. Now, well, if I can learn how to carve, anyone can learn.
These men are so smug about knowing how to do the easiest part. They're like, hey, could you just cook this thing for me? Anyways, I'm gonna cut it open. Woo! Alrighty. Well, that was a fun one. Let's go off to war. How about... Don't be a sucker.
Henry here got on the train with $200. He couldn't see any harm in a friendly game of cards. What if the other men were strangers? And take Joe Collins. He's got a nice wife at home.
I will take him.
But he met this girl at the bar, and she looked, after the first couple of drinks.
She looked what? What did she look like? Hey,
There's a
you...
good old-fashioned word for people like us. We call them suckers. And there are other people. People who stay up nights figuring out how to take away what they've got.
Sucker born every minute. I didn't realize this was going to be
All
about
kinds
this.
of
Oh,
game
this is
like here,
awesome.
For instance. He's got everything in me. He's young, he's healthy, got a job. And he's got plenty of food.
And he's got plenty of food.
Things a man can use. Big cities to do the business of a big company. And people.
A big what now?
Lots of
A big
enough to work
what?
the farm and build the factories, dig the mines,
What's the funny?
run the business. All kinds of people. People from different countries with different religions, different colored skins.
What?
Free people.
Yeah. What?
They can live together and work together
What?
and build America together because they're free.
Why did we?
Free to vote.
What?
Say what they pleased. Go to their own churches.
Huh? What? Why did we get on this
Their own
tangent?
jobs.
I thought we were talking about that one guy on the train.
Yeah?
Oh, okay. Here we.
He's got something, all right.
What the fuck was
He's got
that?
America. But there are guys who stay up nights figuring out how to take that away from him.
Happens to know the facts.
Oh shit! It is this one.
I'm just an average American.
Yo!
I'm an American. And some of the things I see in this country of ours make my blood boil.
Hey,
I
look,
see
it's Donald
people
Trump.
for an apple of money. I see Negroes holding jobs that belong to me and you. Now I ask you, if we allow this thing to go on, what's going to become of us real Americans?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
Fuck.
Seems to know what he's talking about. What are we real Americans going to do about it? You'll find it right here in this little pamphlet. The truth about Negroes and foreigners. The truth about the Catholic Church. You'll find
Do you
out
believe in that kind of talk?
Vague German accent. Really thought we were talking about. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
I suddenly remembered this short.
We'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners. Without Catholics. Without Freemasons.
Freemasons?
What's wrong with the Masons? I'm a Mason. Hey, that fella's talking about me.
Hey, that fella's talking about me.
Doesn't it?
These are your enemies. These are the people who are trying to take over our country. Now you know them. You know what they stand for. And it's up to you and me to fight them. Fight them and destroy them before they destroy us.
Man, if only people reacted like that.
Before he said Masons, you were ready to agree with him.
Well, yes, but he was talking about... What about those other people?
But in this country, we have no other people. We are American people.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately, it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. So they split Germany into small groups. They used prejudice.
It is hitting a little close to home. I'm kind of just sitting here like,
To work hard to do it. You see, we human beings are not born with prejudices. Always they are made for us. Made by someone who wants something. Remember that when you hear this kind of talk.
this was made by the
Somebody's going to
U.S.
get something
like
out
War
of it,
Department.
And it isn't going to be you. This is not classroom theory. I saw it happen. I saw it first in Berlin in 1932. 5 young men that I knew were standing in the crowd listening to the Nazi speaker. Eric was a Catholic. Anton, a student of mine, was a Jew. Heinrich owned a small hardware store. Karl was a farmer. And Hans was an unemployed metal worker.
How did you know a farmer?
Bavarian Germans, I say it is time you inherited the nation which rightfully belongs to you. To you alone belongs the glorious destiny of the greater Germany. The Nazi Party will provide land for the farmer, work for the worker, and profits for the small businessman. Who is getting these things now?
No pronoun. Thank you for the follow, Vegas.
pronoun people.
The Jew who has stolen our nation and our birthright. Who makes all the money and takes all our jobs? The Jew! He must be shunned. He must be ostracized. He must be eliminated. And the Catholics. We don't want our great nation run by a foreign church. We Germans will know what to do with these people when the time comes. They and their faith must be destroyed. Then there are the Freemasons. In Germany, we have no place for secret societies. There will be only one society, and that is a Nazi Party. There will be no secrecy about that in the new Greater Germany.
One by one, he attacked each minority and he split them off one from the other. These men were all fellow Germans when they came here today. Now they were split into rival groups, suspicious of each other, hating each other. They were being swindled, all of them. But the man who was really being fooled was Hans. He was pure German, according to Nazi standards. To him they promised everything, and he fell for it. That's how Hans became a Superman. They gave him a uniform and they pumped up his ego. He wasn't just a little fellow out of work anymore.
I don't even have anything to
He
say
was a
about this
member of
dog.
the master race. Hans and thousands of others like him, all playing a sucker's game. They gambled with other people's liberty. And of course, they lost their own. A nation of suckers.
Don't watch this stream in Germany, I guess, by the way.
There was lots of work to be done. There were trade unions to be smashed, because unions were organized and might offer resistance. There were many political parties in Germany. These the Nazis destroyed. They were determined to smash every organization where people might band together and resist them. There were Jews to be beaten and killed. The Jews were not powerful, but they were a convenient excuse for all the nation's ills. And besides, a Nazi party member could not take over this man's store. Hundreds of Catholics were put in jail because the Catholic Church had strength and could resist the Nazi drive for power. They had split the nation into 100 pieces, and then one by one, they had destroyed the pieces. Over these broken pieces, the Nazis rode into power. One party, one nation, one religion. These men had won their struggle for power. They now ruled all of Germany. But still they had trouble with their oldest and most persistent enemy, the truth. They found that truth does not die easily. And so they decided to abolish truth. One great source of truth is literature.
Oh, hey, look.
So they burned books.
It's the Institute for Transsexual Research.
Or driven from their country. Scientists. Education was discouraged. In 5 years, college attendance dropped 53%. It was forbidden to listen to a British radio program or read an American newspaper. In Nazi Germany, you had to get your information from Dr. Goebbels. He knew what was best for you. The church was one force in Germany still strong enough to proclaim the truth in public. This Catholic priest was arrested the following day on charges of immorality. The Protestant church also continued to try and fight for truth. The Nazis put this man in a concentration camp. There were others who spoke for truth, and I am proud to say that educators were among them.
And also were among the Nazis as well, but whatever.
I don't know myself. But let us see what our present so-called authorities have to say about it. They say he is tall, slender, blue-eyed,
It's black and white. I can't. There's no.
and blonde. There is no Aryan race. And more important, there is no master race. There are people who may find these ideas convenient, but science cannot support them. There is no scientific proof that there's any correlation between a man's racial characteristics and his native ability or character. In all racial groups, we find the same range of potentialities. We find idiots and geniuses. We find criminals and philanthropists. We must judge each man as an individual and not by the color of his skin or his eyes or by the length of his nose. Come in, gentlemen. It's comfortable. And remember that there is no master race. That is a scientific truth. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying.
The police uniform? You can judge by that. That's true.
Purposes, truth had been abolished in Germany.
That's a personal choice, you see.
A lot of my German friends wondered what had hit them. How did it happen? Where did it start? It started right here. And this was where it could have been stopped. If those people had stood together, if they had protected each other,
They could have resisted the Nazi threat. Together they would have been strong. But once
A
they
side
allowed
comment
themselves to
birth.
split apart,
ACAB.
they were helpless. When that first minority lost out, everybody lost out. They made the mistake of gambling with other people's freedom. Now let's see how those bets paid off. Karl the farmer was gambling on a better life for himself.
He died in Russia.
What he got was extra hours of back-breaking work.
Oh.
As much as 100 hours a week. He was forced to stay on his land and produce what he was told to produce. Because now Hitler was preparing for war. For Heinrich, who owned a hardware store, the bet didn't pay off either. 104,000 small businesses were closed in 2 years. And for Hans, conditions hadn't improved any. He had a job now in the munitions factory, but he worked long hours for little pay. The working conditions grew increasingly bad. And even though he didn't like the job, he wasn't permitted to leave it. And when Hitler decided the time was right, Germany went to war. Not by declaring war, but by a carefully prepared sneak attack. Once again, Hitler needed Hans to do his dirty work. Hans was an expert at brutality this time. And Hitler had decided to use Hans and his brutality against other peoples. The Czechs, the Poles, the French, the Russians. But in the crucial test of war, Hitler's race theories didn't pay off.
Yeah.
His
We've got
pure
forever
blooded
wars. We don't
Supermen
need sneak
defeated by
attacks.
The mongrel armies he despised. By the British at El Alamein. By the Russians at Stalingrad. Then on D-Day by American soldiers of every color and religion, who smashed across the Normandy beaches and drove on
Every color or religion, you know, eventually.
For the misguided Germans who had swallowed the Nazi bait, the Nazi game did not pay off. The continent of Europe was strewn with millions of German bodies, pure Aryan bodies. Karl the farmer was left in the snow outside of Moscow. Heinrich stayed in Italy at Salerno.
Jesus
And
Christ.
Hans, who was going to rule the world, got only a little patch of Normandy that he could call his own.
We must never let that happen to us or to our country. We must never let ourselves be divided by race or color or religion, because in this country we all belong to minority groups. I was born in Hungary. You are a Mason.
What did you
are a
miss?
minority.
This one's bleak.
And you belong to other minority groups too. You are
I
a
thought this was going to be
farmer.
a funny little
The
thing about
Methodist Church. Your right to belong to this
Not
minority
gambling.
is a precious thing. You have a right to be what you are and say what you think, because here we have personal freedom. We have liberty. And these are not just fancy words. This is a practical and priceless way of living. But we must work at it. We must guard everyone's liberty, or we can lose our own. If we allow any minority to lose its freedom by persecution or by prejudice, we are threatening our own freedom. And this is not simply an idea. This is good, hard common sense. You see, here in America, it's not a question whether we tolerate minorities. America
Can I
is
get this guy to
minorities.
talk to every single
That
American?
means you and me.
So let's not be suckers. We must not allow the freedom or dignity of any man to be threatened by any act or word. Let's be selfish about it. Let's forget about we and they. Let's think about us.
I'm so glad this short ended bigotry in the US and we never had to deal with that shit again. Oh! Hold up. This film will not be shown to the general public without permission of the War Department. Why not? You could have saved us. You could have stopped this. I was having a good day. That made me very depressed. Let's watch something silly. Want to learn about old phones? Thank you, Robert Larson. I'm feeling better already. This naive Americana really makes me feel better. Whoa, hi, another train! Whoa! It's so fun to ride on a train! Should have trains like that in every city. Oh, don't I know it. Wow! That's right, folks. We're at the World Fair. Seattle World Fair. Yeah. The idea here is we watch little short films. Normally, they're little educational things like this, and not a treatise on how fascism could take over in the United States. Yeah, that's true, Mad Wobbler. Oh dear. Well, I guess it is the World's Fair. Could you turn off that music? Okay, thank you. I appreciate you turning off that music. Do they still do World's Fairs? I would imagine so, right? Stop touching her. Oh my god. Whitey? Imagine wearing a dress like that just casually out to places. I was talking about the one the white girl's wearing. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's fair. I'm just saying, it seems like a lot to be wearing just like going out, you know? Going out with your brother, you know? As you do. Gotta get all gussied up to go on a date with my brother. Wow. It's a DNA, except it's the fucking Sweets of a Card deck. Wow. Does this short have a point? Is there like a point we're gonna get to at any point? I guess we're just advertising the World's Fair right now. Wow. Is this exhibit supposing that we're going to have pigeons take over call centers? Like the operator? The operator's gonna be a pigeon? If you don't go to the World's Fair, the Nazis will win. That's true. Every short's actually about how the Nazis could win. Whoa! Do you see those people having to get out of the way of these two? Fucking hell. Oh my god, they're just cutting in line.
Here is a world of communication.
Oh, a
tailored
narrator.
to your needs of today and tomorrow, bringing together all people.
I guess
in
it
a
is, isn't
new
it?
era
The evolution of a male
understanding.
pigeon. A carrier pigeon. Damn,
Keeping in
that sounds
touch by
nice.
means of the amazing new
Now you
Bell
just take
Boy
holidays
is the Bell
because
system's
your
answer
boss
today
tells
for
you to.
Doctors, salesmen, deliverymen, or anyone who must be available at all times in the fast-paced world of Century 21.
Wow,
When
that's a
someone
really
calls
convenient
and
phone
you are out,
device.
You can be reached by dialing your Bellboy code number. When you get a signal on the Bellboy, you can go to a phone to call your office or home. and
Wow,
get
it
the
tells you when someone's trying to call you on the phone? That's crazy!
This is the
That really
automatic
is Century
dialer.
21.
Listen for dial tone, insert a number card, and press the start bar.
It really does feel like the
Bell
21st
System
century now.
automatic dialer dials for you more quickly and easily than you can do it yourself.
That's crazy!
Numbers you call frequently can be punched on small plastic cards.
An auto dial?
Then see how
Wow!
fast direct distance dialing really is. Dial the area code, then the weather report telephone number. Presto, instant weather. With DDD, most calls go through in 20 seconds or less. Here you see the Bell solar battery in action, turning light into electricity to run the
Whoa!
switchboard. Solar batteries are used to convert sunlight to electrical power.
They actually had
Your
this one.
satellites
This
plot back
is
from
kind of crazy. They got this one correct, and it didn't look like that, but you know, push button phoning.
Thank you.
I don't have to spin a dial around the phone.
Hi, this is the Bell System's new touch-tone dialing. With this indicator,
I thought it was
you
push
see
button
how many
phoning.
seconds you saved the new way. Let's try it. Okay, I'll race you. Ready? Go.
Hi, Lily.
I beat you.
Wow!
Welcome to our exhibit.
Reset that shit.
I'm glad to have this opportunity to tell you about the telephone switching center of tomorrow. The electronic
Hi.
central office, which is made possible by the magic of the transistor and other tiny but amazing devices invented by the Bell
Neil
Telephone
Cicerega
Laboratory.
reel.
Imagine, if you can, an electronic brain operating at millionth of a second speeds. I say brain because the new electronic central office will almost think for itself.
The magic of
It will
transistor?
not only
That's
carry out
true.
instructions
Literally
you dial
true.
into it, it will also remember instructions you provided earlier. These memory features will offer many convenient services.
You're old
I'm
enough to
sure
barely
you'll be
remember a dial
delighted with.
phone. That,
For one
that
thing,
you're
you'll be
barely
able
held on way
reach
too long to.
frequently called
Hell yeah.
numbers by dialing only 2 digits. All you'll have to do is give the telephone company a list of the numbers you dial most frequently.
I don't think I ever
The
used
electronic
one,
brain's
but I did
memory will do
have
the rest.
a toy of one.
To see how it works, please watch the screen.
Whoa! Another short within a short.
Is it time to phone Grandma? Now, let's see. All right.
Now, let's say you want to call your mother, who lives in Des Moines. You call her fairly often, so the telephone company has assigned 53 as your special number for making this call. When you dial the 5 and the 3, the electronic central
CRT
office's
TVs
brain
are really
says,
interesting
"Uh-oh,
pieces of
something
technology.
special." Searches its memory for what those 2 digits represent.
Whoa,
And dials the
are you
area
saying
code
that this
plus the number in
phone
Des Moines for you.
system has a computer in it?
Hello?
Hello, Grandma.
Ever been invited out for an evening and had to turn it down because you're expecting an extra special call? Well, the
No.
electronic central office will solve that problem for you, too.
Oh, okay.
When you
I didn't
do
have
go
that
out,
problem, but
it'll be
okay.
a simple matter to have your calls transferred. All you'll have to do is dial a special code, which tells the equipment's brain you want your calls transferred, and then dial the telephone number where you can be reached. Our amazing electronic central office will take it from there.
I love I love people talking about computers when the computer isn't like a known term yet. So they have to say anything but computer.
No, this isn't Diane. It's Linda.
What gives?
What
This is Jim
gives?
Morton. I was calling Diane Brown.
Oh, yes, she's here. She had her calls transferred to my house.
Fucking give it to me.
And what about those times someone has tried to call you and your line is busy? We've thought of that, too.
Fine, Sarah, that's fine. I'll have the information for you at the meeting next Wednesday.
When you hear the beep tone on your telephone, you know someone else is trying to reach you.
Sarah, will you hold on just a minute? Someone else is trying to reach me.
All you do is flick the switch hook to hold the first call while you take the second.
Oh, hello, dear. I was just talking to Sarah. I see. Okay, dear, but you tell Fred next time he's in town he's to bring Helen, right? Bye, dear.
I don't know why I need to see the rest of that conversation.
Hello, Sarah? That was Bert calling.
Easy as pie, isn't it? And here's another feature you're going to find handy. Now,
more
look,
features?
Sarah Jane knows a lot more about that than I do. Why don't we get her on the line and find out? Okay, just a minute.
Want someone else on the line? That's easy, too.
They invented
Flip the switch
Discord.
button, then dial a code number and the number you want. And presto.
Get in that group chat. Telephones are so
Hello, Jane?
cool.
This is Martha. Listen, I have Sarah on the line, and we want to know what to do about...
As we look to the future, we see many extras for tomorrow's telephone
About what?
users. One day, you may be able to call home and automatically turn off the oven. Or, from a public telephone...
Using your phone to turn on the oven? What will they think of next?
Turn on your home air conditioner and have the house nice and cool when you return from your hot trip.
How do you text with those things?
It may even be possible
you gotta.
to
It's like a BlackBerry. You gotta.
dry spell when you are many miles away on vacation.
You gotta use the numbers that correspond to the different letters.
Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? But it is all possible because of the basic research our scientists and engineers at the Bell Telephone Laboratories are doing to make your service better day by day. From their work has come breakthrough after breakthrough in science, providing the intricate devices that lie at the heart of your telephone service of tomorrow.
Yeah, they should call these things smartphones. They're so intelligent. They got brains.
To give you the kind of telephone service
They got mechanical brains.
And we think you'll agree, after seeing the many exhibits we have here,
that's a different recording
no
area.
end to telephone progress now.
I love ADR.
21.
Mechanical brain. Mechanical brain. Everybody loves the mechanical brain. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa, a song. I was not expecting a song. Whoa.
You can look through the eye and you're seeing it all. Yes, you're seeing it all. As the present unfolds, what the future beholds, you're elated. See the art shows, walk the thoroughfare on the boulevards leading everywhere. Ride a rickshaw, dine on caviar. You can telephone a star.
You can?
It's a wonderful age on a beautiful stage demonstrated for you. Been created for you. It's just a part of.
Oh my god. What a terrible screening. I love going on a date with my brother. Alright. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a video. Were they not siblings? They were clearly siblings. It is endearing. It is also very funny. I have to say, it is also very funny. I I want to do one more, and I know exactly which one I want to do, and I need to find it real quick. Okay, here's what I need to pork. No, that's not going to find it. Magic word for pork. I misspelled pork. I might be dyslexic. Oh. No. That's not what I want. Just gonna have to look at it for it outside of the Internet Archive. 3 magic words. That's what it's called. Okay, maybe that will help me find it. I had those 3 downloaded, but I realize right now I want to do one specific one, so I need to find it. Movies. What if I just type pork? 3 magic words. Pork. It's not on the Internet Archive, I guess. Weird, but it is public domain, I'm pretty sure. It's from 1939, which doesn't automatically make it public domain, but it's like pretty close. Oh well, we'll get it from YouTube. It's on YouTube, so it should be fine. So let's get this downloaded real quick. Shouldn't be much longer. Ooh, this one's going to be in 480p. Are you excited? Yep, it sucks, but you know, gotta work with what we got. There we go.
Mr.
Butcher?
You're not afraid of my husband, are you?
I'll say I'm not. What's that?
I mean, he's gone crazy.
Eat at Joe's.
Yes, just wait till you hear what he did. Oh,
What?
so 3 old pals of his from Iowa came to town. 3 of them, mind you.
3 of
them?
Yes, and what do you suppose? They got into an argument over whose wife was the best cook.
Dear.
And to settle it, the big sap invited them out to our house to dinner tonight.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, but that isn't the worst. He says they're all connoisseurs of good pork because they come from where the best pork comes from. Oh, it's the Corn Belt or some silly place, and I've got to get him a pork dinner.
They're corn-fed beauties.
There. Please, Mrs. Newlywed. Don't worry.
Please,
I know
Mrs.
all
Newlywed.
about Iowa and the Corn Belt. Why, I used to work in Des Moines.
Really? Iron or coal?
Des Moines is a city, lady. Hey, fellas.
Shut up. Whoa. Hey there. What the fuck? I said shut up and they did. What the fuck? Did it not download the whole thing? What is with this thing and just not downloading the whole video for some reason? Okay. Fucking hell, dude. Let's go to let's just watch it on YouTube. Fuck it. Pork. 3 magic words. Pork. Okay. Here we are. Skip ahead.
I mean, he's gone crazy.
What? Dear, dear.
Dear,
And the
dear.
settle at the big sap invited him out
New
to our
kaiju video was
house
great,
for
by the way.
dinner.
Thank you.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, but that isn't the worst. He says they're all connoisseurs of good pork because they come from where the best pork comes from. Oh, it's the corn belt or some silly place. And I've got
Corn belt or some silly place.
the pork is made of sheep or cow.
Wait, she doesn't know if what pork is made of?
Please, Mrs. Newlywed, don't worry. I know all about Iowa and the Corn Belt. Why, I used to work in Des
Iowa?
Moines.
Really? Iron or coal?
Des Moines is a city, lady. Hey, fellas.
Hey, fellows.
Mrs. Newlywed's in deep trouble. Let's tell her about those 3 magic words. What do you say?
It's a pleasure.
Grab your weapons.
Shooter.
Into the room. Let's give.
Look for quality, freshness,
And flavor. They're the magic words for pork.
If
You want to do your family a favor.
serve New England breast-fed pork.
That's the breastfed. Oopsie.
But it's all New England dress. It's so tender you could cut it with a fork.
Wow,
Look for
woo.
quality, freshness, and flavor. They're the magic words for pork. There are things you must remember when you think of buying pork. If you want the kind that's rated as the best.
Ah.
For the porkers we acknowledge as the finest in the land are the ones that have been corn-fed in the West.
We love
Now
corn-fed
these
pork.
finest Western porkers must be shipped into the East with the best of care and feeding on the way.
Woo, woo.
Then the government inspectors must examine every one.
Yeah, these guys are
They're
bards. They have
tested
magic in them
and delivered that
strings.
same day. Look for quality,
Freshness and flavor.
They're the magic words for pork. If you want to do your family a favor, serve New England dressed fresh pork.
Dressed fresh pork? Is that what they're saying?
But it's all New England dress. It's a favorite from Maine down to New York. Look for
Wow.
quality, freshness, and flavor. They're the magic words for pork.
Thank you all so much. I'll remember, but look at the clock. It's after 4 and...
Why, of course. How stupid of us. Listen, fellas, let's concentrate on Mrs. Newlywed's problem.
If you want good
Let me
pork,
see.
buy
3
good pork.
magic
Simple
words.
as.
Which shall it be? I have it. She
Yeah,
shall
these guys
serve
are like
bread,
are like an
pocket
actual
pork chop,
trio,
2
like
inches
a
thick, and all the
band
dressing.
or
Yes,
something,
that's
like a
wonderful.
comedy
Now,
band.
Really go crazy over that.
I think that's the idea behind them.
Oh, they're beautiful, but how do you prepare them?
It's
You
simple.
cook
Just
them.
follow a good recipe.
And then, well, just cook the dinner.
Just find a
That's
good
all,
recipe,
that's all.
idiot.
Oh, I see. Just cook the dinner.
That's right. Mrs.
Simple
Newlywed,
as.
Just cook the dinner.
Oh, why, of course. I should have known. Just cook the dinner. Well, that makes it unanimous. Well, thanks so much. Just charge this. Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't you worry, Mrs. Newlywed. Wait until you step inside your kitchen door.
What? Woo.
Judging by the way you look, we guess you haven't learned to cook. But to cook a meal is really not a chore.
Woo.
Not a chore.
Woo.
Not a chore.
Woo.
So don't you worry anymore.
Woo.
Pocket chocolate, quality, freshness, and flavor. Oh, why did I ever be mother?
A ghostly apparition.
How do you do, Mrs. Newlywed? Won't you kindly open up your kitchen door? You're unhappy, we can
With
see
no
because
respect
you're
at all.
having company,
She-
but to cook a meal is really not a chore.
They made like the most mousy, ineffectual woman character ever for this short. It's incredible.
There's not a moment to lose. Where's that menu?
It's fit for a king. It'll make your heart sing.
Yes, it's wonderful, but look at the clock. They'll be here at 6:30.
Don't worry, Mrs. Newlywed. There are tricks to every trade, and we're going to show you some of them right now. We'll start with the most important thing on the menu. First, you fill the chops inside with the stuffing. That's our pride. Then you peel the fragrant onions underwater.
Stuffed pork chops.
Next, you cut them up in slices, and of all the neat devices,
Wash your hands with salt. The smell to hide.
Why, the odor's gone.
Sure. Now,
Sure.
we'll boil the potatoes for our meal to make them easier to peel. Then with the chops and luscious onions in the pan, we'll let them hibernate at 328. And forget
Do you
them
need the
for an
rhyme
hour
every
if
time?
we can. Now we're ready for a salad of the kind that sings a ballad, with tomatoes as the mainstay of the dish. First, a handy little trick that removes the jacket quick. Then you chill them for an hour, if you wish.
But wait,
You don't have an
what's
hour.
happening here?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, now that makes it clear.
And here is something else that rates the look.
The recipe doesn't work if it doesn't
Water
rhyme. It's a
runs
magic
the
spell.
leaves apart, while this added bit of art gives a final touch, just like a
She has an
picture.
hour 25. Okay, we got time. There's time.
Oh, look at the time.
Hey, fellas, where's the dessert?
Hey, fellas, where's the
Wait
dessert?
a minute.
Eeny, miny, alakatiz. Abba dabba. Here it is.
Huh?
Quick, fellas. Quick, Mrs. Moolywet. Come on, get the salad and get everything going. We got to get everything out. Listen, you go answer the doorbell.
Bonk. Literally just conjured dessert. Magic. And they like disappeared the rest of the food, but then it went over there to the sink.
It will make their spirits lighter than a cork.
Wow! The poor cat! Dressed fresh pork.
Darling, the boys from the Golden West.
How do you do, Mrs. Newlywed?
It's the same guys.
Can hardly wait for your husband made a
I think.
said he'd like to be our host for
But
the
and
finest
they
meal we
sing.
ever ate. Ever ate. Ever ate.
Don't be late.
For the finest meal we ever ate.
What ho, me lads, I told you so.
Can we trust our nose to know?
We'll soon find out.
Here are we, the hungry three, with hearty appetite.
Woo!
Homely food will taste so good, will fill us with delight. So let's sit down and go to town, no ifs or ands or buts. The way we feel, we crave a meal complete from soup to nuts. The way we feel, we crave a meal complete from soup to nuts.
Bow.
See such a dinner.
Oh man, that looks awful.
Joe wins the bet, all right.
There are things you must remember when you think of buying pork. If you want the kind that's rated as the best.
Boom,
For the
boom.
porkers we
They cook the meal for themselves. I think that's the implication.
implication.
Now these are the same three guys. I can't.
Now these finest western porkers must be shipped into the
Like, aren't those the same three guys?
feeding on the way. Then the government inspectors must examine everyone as they're dressed and then delivered that same day. Look for quality, freshness, and flavor.
And they're there too.
They're the magic
This woman is
words
breaking
for
down.
pork. If you want to do your family a favor, serve New England dressed fresh pork. For it's corn
Honey,
fed
do
in
you
the
see them
West,
too?
But it's all New England dressed. It's so tender you could cut it with a fork. Look for quality, freshness, and flavor.
It's a trio of triplets.
They're the magic words for pork.
That's the eatin'est dinner I ever had.
The eatin'est dinner.
Terrific. And
Everyone
you
is here.
win the bet. But the real orchids go to your wife. She's given us a real corn-fed pork dinner from the Golden West right here in New England. And we didn't think it was possible, did we, boys?
She was on the verge of a
So let's
crisis.
give the little girl a great big hand. What do you say? Right-o.
Here's a toast to Mrs. Newlywed, for we never ever tasted finer pork.
These guys have two songs.
And so we're glad to lose our bet, for we never ever tasted finer pork.
Woo!
Here's a toast
Do, do.
to the host,
Boom, boom.
for we never ever tasted finer pork.
You know what else rhymes with pork? Jork in it. All right. Oh, okay. There it goes. Good music continues.
John P.
Squire Company gives you all three in Squire's branded port loin.
Wait, is this John Pork?
Brown roast you ever tasted. And in Squire's Arlington sausage.
It's
or
the
simply
John
dish
Pork.
like this. Then there's that famous Arlington ham for rich, rare flavor. Or if you want something cold or
Well, luckily she can pick up the phone because now our new phones will will connect you to the new place you're at.
So it is with all Squire products. Every one has those three magic words: quality, freshness, and flavor.
Oh, that's the third one,
Buy
right?
pork as you buy any other product. By brand name. Squire's branded pork.
Hell yeah. I love pork. What the fuck is this? 3 magic words. First meditation, the lock. Okay. All right. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinnamon. All right. I think that's it for me. Hopefully this is enough for Twitch as well. Hopefully Twitch has decided I have 7 now. I have the 7 dragon streams that allow me to thank you for the follow, Marquis Bonk. The 7 dragon streams that allow me to make the wish. Look at all those emotes dancing at the bottom of the screen there. Look at them. I just passed my PhD qualifying exams with nice relaxed afterwards. Congratulations. Hell yeah. We love to see it. As a master's degree holder, couldn't be me. But yeah, no, good job. Who the hell are we rating? Maybe Price. We can rate Price. But yeah, I think I'm done for the day. I didn't want to do another stream here again. But, you know, I do what Twitch tells me to get the stupid shit that I need. But this turned out fun. I had a good time. All right. I'm going to send you over to my friend Price, exclamation point socials in the chat. We'll get you where I'm at. That's Twitter. I should put Blue Sky in there too. Blue Sky, YouTube, Patreon, Ko-fi, Discord, whatever you want. You can find it all there. I have 3 different YouTubes, by the way. The VODs here, they go on Tomb of Thempire Ian. My Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, that goes on Thempire Ian, my main channel. And video essays go there too. And then my podcast, like the Kaiju in the Details, or other podcasts that may be coming soon, you'll find those on Thempod Ian. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Kaiju films, Thempod Ian. If you want to see this VOD or any of the other VODs I've done a lot of movie streams this week. You can check out Tomb of Thempire Ian. And if you want to check out my Yu-Gi-Oh! Or video essay stuff, that'll be Thempire Ian. Hopefully I won't have to make another channel at any point. This 3 seems like a good number to me. All right. Thanks so much for dropping by. I hope you had a good one. I had a good one. I really appreciate it. Let's head on over. Can you take a nap in the tomb? Of course. Of course. Let's raid over to... Well, now Price and... Yeah, let's do Price. Haven't rated Price in forever. Okay. Let's do that. And when you get over there, be kind and courteous. That's all I ask of you. And with that said, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.